Many people wonder, what do the red save squares mean? They seem especially important when you find a save made from 9 such squares and later discover the 26th secret photograph scattered around the game world, also featuring that red square. My name is Puzzle, and today we'll dive into what it all means. We'll look at the official developer explanation and fan theories, but an important detail to note is that many have forgotten James' initial reaction to the save. It was quite grim, as James comments that something crawled into his head, and he feels like his mind has been affected after coming into contact with the mysterious red square.
It's like someone's groping around my skull.
And did you notice that the nurses also have a similar strange red square over their mouths? Doesn't that seem strange, everyone? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Character designer Masahiro Ito explains the squares more simply. As he wrote on his Twitter, the 9 squares represent the 9 enemies James faces throughout the game. 9 monsters, James' illusions and hallucinations, lying figures, mannequins, nurses, flesh lips, mandarins, abstract daddy, pyramid head, Mary, and Maria. And honestly, this explanation is straightforward and makes sense. However, what's interesting is that the third game is also connected to these squares. But before we get to the most intriguing part, I'd like to ask you to check out a 1-hour video featuring all the game's secrets and Easter eggs. Yes, it's a long video, but it's very detailed. I'd appreciate it if you take a look after finishing this. Thanks. Now let's return to the red squares. In Silent Hill 3, Heather Mason, a reincarnation of Alessa Gillespie, is pursued by a cult intending to use her body to birth their god into the material world against her will. In the other world, she finds corpses surrounded by square sheets depicting ears and a screaming mouth. According to art director Masahiro Ito, these body parts symbolize the other world's personality and Heather's subconscious emotions. The ears belong to Alessa, and the bleeding represents her madness. She was bullied in school and abused by her mother, so the mouth represents the insane shrieking from her heart. This meaning aligns with the red squares over the nurses' mouths encountered by Heather in Brookhaven Hospital. No eyes are depicted because Ito intentionally avoided using eyes in creature designs. The mouth motif continues from Silent Hill 2, where it symbolized the same emotion in Mary. In the hospital, Fleshlip attacks James with its mouth, representing how Mary verbally abused him during her illness. After confronting Fleshlip, every creature introduced in the game has a mouth. But what if we look at the save system in other Silent Hill games? In the first game, there was a notebook with a suspicious red cover, just like the red square from the second game. In the third game, the halo of the sun symbol appears on the walls and looks different. However, the same red color is present. During save points, the protagonist is also present, staring directly at us, just like James staring into the red square. And her comment about having a headache when she tries to remember where she saw this symbol is very similar to James' complaint of a headache after his first save. You have to admit, there are a lot of coincidences, just like the squares in the third game, but another theory that caught my attention recently was posted on Reddit. Big respect to the author, Hydra6Actual, for connecting it to the last photo in the game, which shows a red square. Strange Photo 26 to the meaning behind the red save squares. In the Silent Hill 2, James uses red squares integrated into the environment to save, which leads to a red save screen with a close-up of James' face. The theory suggests these save points take a snapshot of James and the red tint reflects him staring into a camera lens. Strange Photo supports this idea, showing an overexposed Polaroid photo with a red glare, captioned, "Shape forces the mind." Now let me read this theory as it was posted on Reddit.
James? Is everything all right? Hey, you okay? It's like you froze for a second.
Yeah, it's fine.
Theory: when you save at a red square, Silent Hill takes a snapshot of James, which the player sees as James staring into the red lens of a camera. It's not a regular photo, it captures the essence or soul of whatever it photographs. This explains why you can find multiple bodies of James around Silent Hill, and multiple copies of Eddie's victims, Maria, and others. Following this theory, the original game and the remake are more of a loop. Not a time loop, but a downward spiral where events repeat with slight changes. Time doesn't reset, it keeps moving forward. Silent Hill creates doppelgangers and copies of people like Mary Maria, and even places like the room from the apartments that reappears with variations. Maria herself changes, becoming more flirtatious and forward with James, forgetting some memories but also recalling their time at the hotel. If Silent Hill makes enough photocopies, the copies degrade, becoming more distorted over time. The monsters are byproducts of this copying process, physical manifestations of dark aspects of the human mind. There are references throughout the game about staring into the abyss, and the abyss staring back, from philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. The save screen shows James from the perspective of the abyss, the supernatural element of Silent Hill, which stares not just at him, but into him, capturing his mind, soul, and essence. Some 19th century isolated tribes feared having their photos taken, believing it would steal their souls. The Silent Hill series draws from various religious and cultural inspirations, including Christian, pagan, European occult, Mesopotamian, and Native American beliefs. I think the red save squares are the shape that forces the mind of James whenever the player saves. The shape digs into and captures every detail of him at that exact moment, even his thoughts and soul. This is why his head hurts. Silent Hill is burrowing into his mind while taking a photo. This explains Silent Hill's ability to fake time travel. It's how the town shows different locations from different times, like when James enters the pristine hotel, but later sees it abandoned and burned. He's not time traveling or hallucinating, it's real. Silent Hill is reconstructing the hotel based on James' memories. Of course, not everyone on Reddit agrees with this theory, and in some ways it contradicts Masahiro Ito's version, but it offers a fresh perspective on the remake and save mechanics, and it also explains the final Strange Photo 26. What do you think, everyone? There's no clear answer here. I cover this topic in my hour-long video, which I highly recommend you watch, but I don't have a definitive answer, and I think the best way forward is to have a discussion in the comments and find the strongest arguments for each theory. And don't forget to check out the full video with all the secrets. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.